Better living through technology, or how I want to stop worrying and live with my phone. Um, yeah, this is a little chat today, less book related, though of course always book related, about me and my phone. For some context, just because whenever I do one of these videos, I don't want anyone to take it as me making my personal pronouncements on this is how the universe should be, this is how the universe is, or anything like that. This is me talking from my little corner of the world. It's late April 2021. I'm in Canada. We are in the midst of our third wave of the coronavirus, and all the kind of the attendant anxieties about that. I've had a death in my family fairly recently. Got a new puppy. You know, sad and happy stuff. Uh, both sad and happy stuff happening. Um, it all kind of takes a little bit of a toll on a person. Your energy reserves get lower. Um, I decided that in my own little corner of the internet world, I was going to take a break from BookTube at the moment, just because I was maybe through my tiredness or whatever, I was just kind of injecting that with my own negativity, kind of projecting that on my own insecurities, my own kind of like, oh, I'm not good enough kind of stuff. Um, and a part of that was that I wasn't I wasn't reading that much. I felt like I was doing a lot of stuff, but I was doing a lot of stuff that I wasn't enjoying. um and even with taking that break from BookTube, I still wasn't really kind of getting my reading in. What I found I was doing is I was just um scrolling on my little box. Actually, the actual box is filming this because it is such a central part of my life. That's one of the things that come to realize. Well, I kind of knew it already, but it's like it's kind of a truism. It's the joke of like, oh God, if we lost our phones, it'd be like losing a limb or something like that. Um, but I was realizing I wasn't particularly that happy. I wasn't getting my reading in. I was feeling anxious. I was feeling tired, and I could do something drastic. I could quit my job, throw away all the technology, wander the world, or go live, go find some kind of mountain retreat and just retreat there and only read books and just I don't know, subsist on twigs and berries or something like that. Um, Instead, because I think you all have those sort of crazy impulses. It's like, well, what's something actually small and measurable change that I could do in my life? A very humble, tiny change that I could do that was well within my powers, and that hardly takes any effort at all. And for me, that was taking my cell phone, and instead of taking it to bed with me at the end of my day and scrolling through it and watching things, and then also getting up in the morning and immediately grabbing it the first thing I do, and turning it on, and like scrolling through, looking at the news, looking at all the videos, and doing that, and then kind of getting up and having headphones plugged in, and my day went, okay. um what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here, uh, put my phone down, plug it in, turn it off, and leave it here. Go to bed. And when I get up in the morning, not immediately rush in here and grab it, but go through, feed the little puppy, because the little puppy is very, very hungry little puppy. Take everybody out, have breakfast, and do another kind of just good long session of reading there. And so I've been doing that. I've been doing that for, it's not actually that long, but I just wanted to talk about it. I thought it was like an interesting thing. I've been doing this for about 10 days. This number of days here, whenever I get around to editing and actually putting this up. And I just wanted to sort of talk about the benefits of it. Benefits and challenges. The benefits are immediate. I was getting good solid sessions of reading in, which is the thing that I love to do. It's the thing that enriches me. That it doesn't. It's one of those things. It's like it's not empty calories. It's something where like, oh, I feel like I'm getting something out of this, and it's also something where you're sort of sitting quietly and reading. It's just yeah, yeah. If you're a reader, you know what that is. You know what that is to get reading, get reading in. But I mean, I could see that applying to anything else you actually love that wasn't connected with the little box. Um, and number two was I was actually going to sleep earlier because reading is a less of a arousing thing. It's not like it's not like videos or things like that, which you could kind of just it'll kind of rev you up a little bit. The excitement factor, it can keep you awake past the point where you would actually naturally go to sleep. Whereas I find with if I'm sitting there, I'm reading, at a certain point I just hit dead point and I just start falling asleep. So it's a very easy and natural way to be able to pay attention to my body better and just get off to sleep. Number three is that yes, I wasn't scrolling through all the news in the evening or in the morning, which can is another thing of just like mounting anxiety because maybe not great things happening in the world. Just never, there's always somewhere there's something terrible happening that we should be outraged about. But that first thing in the late at night is not the time for that. And I even argue the first thing in the morning, it's not the greatest way to start off your day. Um, you know, and number four, which just kind of very naturally kind of went out of all this was, hey, I actually in the morning get up and do stuff, and I'm actually more available, and I'm there for my partner Ja, of us having more kind of chats in the morning, more kind of interactions, and also more interaction at night when I'm reading. It's like you're less down. That that's just been a really happy thing that's happened to this. It's like, oh, hey, I get to talk chat with Ja, and I'm more present and playing with the puppies like in the morning, even if I'm still freaking groggy because I'm not a morning person. And this little puppy is like 8:15 every day. I'm up. I'm ready to go. Woo-hoo! God, even my other dog Shira is like, I'm a mature dog now. I've been educated that we don't get up this early. What the hell's going on? Why is this thing hanging off my ear? Um, so yeah, that's been all the really great things that have happened through that. So yeah, problem solved. I guess I'm just going to continue on like this, never to slip back into the old things. That's problem solved. It's like no, that's not what's going to happen. I know that this will not be like 100%. I just switched over. That there's going to be challenges to adopting this new behavior. I mean, and the first thing is the old way is the way I've been doing things now for however long cell phones have been around. I've been able to carry basically a TV set, a newspaper, a amazing radio filled with cool people talking about super interesting things that I am interested in. That's the it's good have been a ton of years now that I've been able to carry that into the bedroom and then start my day immediately plugging myself back into that at the beginning of the day. So I know that just simply as an old habit, that's going to be difficult. That's going to be a difficult thing to break. And I mean, and also it's just too, as I said there, it's tempting. There is so much cool stuff, fun stuff, interesting stuff on here that can pull you away from other but more measured, more cool mediums. Cool in the sense of it's not like flashing lights and everything. It's like it's interacting with text is much more you and the text, and you have to bring bring a certain amount to it, which for me makes it is probably one of the joys of it is I get to that kind of effort of working with text, effort in a fun way. I don't know. It's not like it's hard for me to read, but yeah, that's a whole nother discussion. But Yeah, so the flashing lights is very tempting. And sometimes I will go to bed and I know I've done this before. Just like, oh, I'm too tired to read a book. So I'll pick up the phone and I'll start watching really dumb videos. And dumb or just kind of videos that are supposed to be fluff and just entertaining. It's just like, oh la la, it's like easy, easy, easy stuff. And that's why television is a thing, is people plop down in front of it, turn it on, and after the long day and can just kind of like be there, and it's just sort of something that washes over them. And I'm lucky. I'm somebody who doesn't really get insomnia, but I have found myself doing that thing of like, oh, I can't sleep. Oh, I'll put a podcast on for 15 minutes, and sure enough, within a little bit of time, I'll be asleep. Virtually for me, because I am blessed, it's like virtually a couple of minutes go by, and then I am completely unconscious, and I wake up halfway through the night, and it's still playing in my ear, and I kind of put it to a side or whatever like that. But so using it that way, and number five, which is uh, this would obviously come a lot higher on a lot of other people's lists, is just the demands of life. I'm sure there's lots of people, including myself, in certain circumstances where you can't just cut yourself off from the world. That they're someone with, like, you might have a loved one who, if they have a medical emergency in the middle of the night, they need to contact you. At this point, Ja has still got her phone beside her. I'm not making decisions for her, so there is a conduit that way for people who would be contacting us in the middle of the night. But that is something that I'm going to have to, that'll be another challenge. Is that just because I want to have strict no phone once I get into bed, doesn't mean that there's going to be times when I might actually have to use it as a phone or texting or communication device, versus just sort of all the entertainment stuff, which is a lot of things that have been kind of sucking things out. So that is one of these things of like, okay, I'm going to need to kind of address the challenges, as far as kind of like old ways go. It's an old habit. So, persistence, and replacing that old habit with this new habit of making it a habit, making it okay, it's this time of night. The phone is going to it's going to sit right here. It's going to get turned off, going to get plugged in, and just saying like, this is the new habit, and be mindful of it. Maybe track it for the first while, until it becomes just second nature of like, okay, it's sitting down here doing that. And there's the whole thing of like, yeah, temptation of like, oh, there's so much cool stuff and on the internet. And it's not one of these things where I'm saying to myself, well, that's it, I renounce the internet. It's like, no, but say, hey, you know what? From this period to this period, we're not going to have YouTube. We're not going to have all the news sites. We're not going to have Netflix. But let's make another time for that during the day, some other point of the day where you can say, oh, I want to watch this or that. It's like, well, try and channel it into other times of the day, other points in my life. Maybe there's going to be less of it. That's probably not going to be as bad a trial as you think, but just, say like, okay, the stuff you really, really want to watch, hey, here's this time, but just not this time, not between bed and after kind of a reading in the morning. Just kind of leave that space for yourself, but say, okay, that cool stuff can go in there. If I'm too tired to read at night, or I feel like, oh, I'm so brain dead, I can't read Don Quixote. Actually, Don Quixote is probably a bad example, because no, Don Quixote can be fun and slapstick, but he can also be challenged. There's some parts of the Quixotes that can be challenging, but saying like, okay, find something, a really light book to have on hand that you can read, that is super light, super unchallenging, maybe a reread or something like that you can just have there and dip into, and enjoy, but isn't going to make as much demands, and then you're asleep because you're that tired anyways. Just to make that little gap. Now I am lucky that I don't have insomnia, but there are times where I do, for whatever reason, I get really stressed, and I can't sleep. I am really lucky for the most part. I know there's people out there who have insomnia, and it's like, well, what are you going to do? Um, for myself, probably what that is going to look like is if I just absolutely cannot sleep, I try like kind of maybe doing a kind of a meditation or kind of a body scan and all that sort of kind of stuff to kind of occupy your brain and kind of just ground yourself and breathe and maybe let go some of the anxieties in the world. Is just say, okay, I'm going to get up and I'm going to go somewhere else. And at that point, if I can't read because I don't want to disturb Ja, I yeah, away from the bed, you could click on the phone and watch something, but I do that away from the bed. Like say, no, you can't do that in the bed. So that sort of thing to kind of address insomnia, which for me is rare, but for the eventualities that it does happen, it's thing. Um, and as for kind of the demands of like sometimes like holy crap, there's like a family emergency going on, or there's horrible stuff that's happening that is actually urgent. The news oftentimes you can seems like you can wait a day and suddenly it's not that urgent, but there's some stuff like maybe there's a I don't know, the forest fire is coming or something like that. And it's it's consumed the town out just outside of town, but is it coming this way? And you need to be like on the alert. Calm down, calm down. Is just to say, okay, well, maybe in those circumstances, the phone is going to be coming back into the bedroom, but not putting it by the side of the bed where you can reach out and grab it, but by putting it at like, the foot of the bed, putting it somewhere well out of reach that you have to physically get up out of bed, grab the phone, so that it is kind of changed back. It's changed back to its oldie time thing of being just simply a phone, something that you talk to people on, or that, or urgent texts come through that you hear the chime, but putting it out of reach, to just, to not do that easy, oh, I'm just in bed, I can't sleep, I do this motion, and then suddenly you're bathed by the neon light. Well, it's not even neon light, but the glowing light. So yeah, and I mean, I think with all these challenges, the kind of the guiding principle is going to be, yes, I will slide back into the old habits, but to gently just kind of put myself back into the new way, is just like, okay, notice, oh, last night I did take the phone into the bedroom and I looked through stuff and I didn't do any reading. It's like, oh, yeah, you did that, but hey, tonight we're going to put it back again and just let's keep on going and hopefully kind of just gently, lovingly over time, switch the ways, is my grand plan for myself. I guess also grand plan for myself is just talking about it publicly here, just kind of, saying it publicly. It helps me organize my thoughts. It helps me kind of go through, oh, these are the benefits, these are the challenges, these are how I might address the challenges. It's like actually talking this out loud is the way my brain works, is how I think about stuff. But it's also kind of acknowledging it. This is a real thing. This is a problem that I have. And, saying it out loud, telling other people about this problem I have, even if everyone's just like, okay, next video. It's like, it helps me make it more real, make myself, makes myself more likely to actually go through with this kind of a change for myself. So yeah, it's better living through technology, not tossing the technology away or, denying it, just saying no more, but like, learning to live with it better, learning to live through it better. There's so much in our world today. And, I'm trying to make I make a deliberate choice, versus just simply stimulus response. It's like saying, let me interrupt the stimulus, more response by saying, hey, you're getting stimulus here. Do you want stimulus here? Do you want a different thing here? Would this other thing make you happier? And, how can you organize your life that way to make it better? So it's a very small, humble choice. I feel like it's already kind of, listing those benefits, I can see it's like, oh, this has actually already made a positive difference in my life. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. That's my long ramble on that, on this device. It's not an evil device. It's just a device. It's just technology, and you know, technology isn't bad. It's just it's using it thoughtlessly can get us into lots of difficulties. Gets myself into a lot of difficulties. I know that for myself. Um, so yeah, just trying to be conscious. Hello, am I awake? Am I awake now? A little bit awake now. Small steps, small steps. All right, more videos later.